Andy Johnson, Minnesota State University. We're looking at the basics of tutoring for students with severe reading disability. This is part 4, looking at emotion or affect or motivation. It is one of the least addressed parts of remediation. When people think of what can I do to help this student, very little attention is given to emotions, but especially for readers 4th grade and above, this is important to attend to because a body of research says, not just Andy, but emotions affect learning. Anxiety and frustration impede learning. Learned helplessness impede learning. Self-efficacy enhances learning. Now, many of the students you will encounter in a tutoring situation have experienced great success at being failures. Think of it. How would you like to come to school and fail for 5 or 6 hours a day because you couldn't read? In that case, acting out would be the healthiest response to an unhealthy behavior. We must attend to this, and I put this number 1 on the list for that reason. Some basic things is to find proximal strategies that are proximal, zone of proximal development, or meaning just a little ahead of where students are at. That's why finding the basic reading level is important, so that you don't frustrate students. Just giving them a whole bunch of work and try to motivate them with rewards and punishments, doesn't work. Don't think about it. Rewards are great, incentives are great if you have the appropriate level, which is just a little ahead of where students are at. Proximal, make sure instruction is proximal or the zone of proximal development. High and low, you have to find good books for students to read. One of the problems with students with very low reading levels, especially as they get older, to find books that are at the appropriate reading level that aren't emotionally too low for them, i.e. they are not reading baby books. There's a whole series of books called high-low. High interest, low reading level, all right? So they can be interested in books like this, and Capstone Press has just a wonderful catalog. They're written at about the 1st or 2nd grade level, sometimes the 3rd grade level. If you look on the back, you see RL of books, that is reading level. Students need to experience success. So part of your job as a literacy teacher, a good literacy teacher, is to find ways in which students can see growth, see success. That's why I like to use the language experience approach, will be talked about in another video, and repeated reading. They read the same piece over for 1 minute and they document the number of words read per minute, and after each successive reading they see their scores go up. It develops fluency, yes, but it's a way for them to experience success. You need to keep sessions happy, fun, and safe so they don't feel threatened. And yes, if you're going to point out their failures in front of other people, they are going to downshift to protect the emotional unit. No one wants to be thought of as dumb or stupid or unable. So keep it happy, fun, and safe. I usually end with a game of some sort. No particular order. You decide these things, but each session generally includes these things: 40 to 50 minutes in duration, and again that could go down to 30 or up to 60. It has some sort of writing activity, meaning scaffolded writing, sentence combining, language experience approach, dictated writing, we'll look at each one of these, word work, reading of some sort, and a scaffolded approach. Scaffolded oral reading is what I recommend for students at a very low level. Some fluency work, and end with a game. And this is just the basics of tutoring, right? For the basics, to get you started, focus on these 5 areas. The next 5 videos will look at each one of these things. I wanted to give you just an overview.